During run-up, look for a uniform rise of about 50 degrees in a single magneto operation. A fouled plug will show up as a sharp reduction in EGT. You should see a uniform rise and fall of EGTs when cycling the mixture control. Be alert for abnormal bus voltage, cold oil temperature, or high CHTs. Any yellow, red, or blinking should be immediately investigated and resolved before takeoff. During takeoff, check that the EGTs and CHTs are consistent with past climbs. EGTs will be slightly cooler due to fuel cooling. Be alert for a high EGT in one cylinder, 300 degrees higher than the others, indicating a plugged injector or leaking manifold gasket. In cruise, be alert for uneven EGTs or CHTs in carbureted engines. Make fine adjustments to throttle, then RPM, then mixture to minimize the differences between the highest and lowest EGT, shown as the difference or DIF value. In descent, manually select the shock cooling display to track it during your letdown. Rates of up to 50 degrees per minute are to be expected, depending on your engine's configurations. You can customize the display of your EDM 730 or 830 from the pilot's seat. A key point to remember is that holding down both buttons gets you into program mode. Stepping all the way through the menus to end Y gets you out again. Holding both buttons down at end Y gets you into the Customizing Alarm Limits menu. Okay, let's quickly review the different program options. Remember, the black Lean Find button changes data. The white Step button moves you to the next menu item. When you enter program mode, you can see the word Fuel. You may tap Lean Find at this point to inform the EDM 730 or 830 that you added fuel, including auxiliary tanks if programmed. When finished, tap Step and see the word Rate followed by a number. This is the number of seconds the display will scroll on the numerical display automatically. You can then change the display of the outside air temperature to Fahrenheit or Celsius degrees. Normally, EGT is displayed to a 10-degree resolution. To change this to a 1-degree resolution, tap Lean Find to display EGT1 Yes. You can change the K factor for the fuel transducer. Refer to the pilot's guide for details on how to do this. You can set whether the calculated fuel used is accumulated between fuel fill-ups or reset to 0. You can select the GPS fuel flow communications format. Refer to the pilot's guide for details also on how to do this. You can transfer the long-term memory to your Palm computer or laptop. A great new feature is Lean of Peak On. It will always default your EDM to Lean of Peak mode on startup. At end Y, push Step to return to your scan or hold down both buttons for the factory menu access. Changing alarm limits. You can access a second Limits menu at the end of the first program menu. To change alarm limits from the regular scan, you must first simultaneously hold down both the Step and Lean Find buttons for 5 seconds until you see the word Program. You step through that section until you see End Y. At that point, again, simultaneously hold down the Step and Lean Find buttons for 5 seconds. You will see FACLIM or Factory Limits followed by Factory No. If you want to restore the factory program default limits, change No to a Yes by tapping Lean Find, then tap Step. But before you do, make a note of the settings because they will be lost after a factory limit reset. Be sure to make note of the K factors of your transducer. You can set the readout in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Set each alarm limit by holding or tapping Lean Find to change the value. Set the high and low battery limits. Tap Step to move to the next alarm limit. Set the engine temp difference limit. Set the shock cooling limit. You can change this bar for TIT if you're turbocharged or to show oil temperature. Set the oil temp limit high and low. Set Lean of Peak limits. You may change the units for fuel flow. Tap Lean Find to change the units to kilograms, liters, pounds, or gallons. Here is how to set the capacity of the main tank. If you have auxiliary fuel tanks or tank tabs, you may set another higher fill value. Set the main capacity to the lower fill level and the auxiliary tank capacity to the difference between the higher and lower fill levels. For example, if your lower fill level is 75 and your higher fill level is 115, set the main to 75 and the auxiliary to 40. First, set the auxiliary to yes. Now set the auxiliary value to the difference between the higher fill level and the lower fill level. Set warning for low fuel. Set amount of fuel low limit. This parameter sets the fuel flow display filter for carbureted or injected engines. Set the number of cylinders. When you see Customize Display, again hold down Lean Find and Step and enter the Custom Display menu. You can select the order of your linear gauges to further customize your EDM. Simply select the number of the placement and the gauge you want to have appear there. Set RPM limit, EDM data record settings, and you can adjust the backlight brightness. For additional details, please refer to your manual or visit our FAQ section at jpitech.com/FAQ.php. With the EDM 730-830 acting as a flight engineer, you can enjoy improved fuel economy, reduced maintenance costs, and extended engine life. JPI is a leader in precision aircraft engine performance monitoring. Our expertise is built into the EDM 730 and 830 series. Our patented technology provides the alarms, displays, and sampling algorithms that give you hands-free, must-know information. JP Instruments is delighted that you selected the EDM 730 or 830 for your aircraft. We invite you to call us if you have any technical questions.